Before I get started, it's not going to take very long for you to work out that I'm not from around here. I am in fact Australian. And for the record, the Geico Gecko is not. It's not just because you happen to be in the real estate industry and it's gone through a tough time. It's got nothing to do with it, really. As human beings, we're all responsible for what we've been through in the last couple of years. Each and every one of us, no matter what category you work in, no matter what job you have, no matter what you do. And the reason you're responsible for it is that we all buy into the dream that it's never going to change. And it always does.
I got to tell you, Troy ranks at the top. He just made a connection with the group that was so instantaneous.
My smack in 1996 cost me $1 million. Flat out, $1 million. Still, to this day, that's still a lot of money to me. It still makes me strange. But you know what it did teach me? It taught me that I had to watch the cycles, because as I sat there and talked to my staff on that day, I realised that there's some greater things I've got to learn here. Not just a lesson of responsibility, I've got to learn how to change the way I actually conduct myself as a business leader if I'm to take responsibility. And I sat down and I said, okay, what caused me to get myself into this position so I don't do it again? And I worked out I had a couple of significant bad beliefs. Bad life beliefs, bad business beliefs, call them what you will. And I figured there was 4 in particular that kept recurring in my life that stopped me from getting ahead. What things in a day do you worry about that you can't influence? And you keep thinking about things that are drama in your life.
I love the energy.
Yeah, great energy and very intuitive and kind of a deep thinker, which is, it's nice, it's refreshing.
What happens is we focus on the business plan. You're driven by metrics. You're driven by performance indicators or things in life that show you your worth in a company or organisation, and that's what you build your life around. Because you've got to get the job done, you make family and everything else fit around it. And that's how we come unstuck. What about your personal vision? Do you remember why you get out of bed every day? Do you remember why you come and do this every day? Because, see, for me, that's the stuff that grounds business success. That's our reality check. That's our review to make sure that we are on track with what we'd like to do in life. So that we don't wake up in 5 years' time and go, how did we get here? What am I doing this for again? I can't remember. Is this important to me? I'm not sure. This way, we get an opportunity to keep growing ourselves first and then the business. And then we sit back and go, well, then how can we make the business work for us to achieve the things in life we'd like to achieve? No different if you're working for somebody else. How can I make this job I've got, this career I've got, work for me instead of me working for it? And then the alignment comes in where you can say, well, now how can I make my personal vision start to match the business vision so we can all achieve our goals?
He's so inspirational. He rocks for small business.
Succinct and to the point.
But as I would finish the conversation and move on, I would find this voice in my head saying, yeah, that was good information, Troy, but it's different for you in your business. That's not going to work for you. It's different for you in your life. Your circumstances are different. Your clients are different. Your clients are shorter. That's not going to work. Retail is shifting, and I call it a bit of a retail revolution where we now need to anticipate what people want before they even get to us. We need to anticipate their needs and then tell them that they need it before they've even thought about it, because they're too busy and too consumed in their own lives. They're too focused on just getting on with their day. So we set about working out what would maybe be something that might unite a group, that might bring them together. And we worked out that there's 4 key transactional drivers in anything you sell. Any product, any service, any country, any language, anywhere. Now here's the key. Value does not equal money. You haven't got to put the cheapest bid in for a project. You haven't got to be the cheapest guy on the block. You haven't got to come up with the best dollar value to get the gig away. If you have the other transactional drivers going on in the relationship with your clients, if you're giving them quality, service, relationship, and ease of transaction, you will give them the perception of value. This is why you're all the same, because your clients are seeking exactly the same thing everywhere in the world.
I like the fact that it makes you reflect upon yourself.
You have to plan and you have to work at it. And Troy's got, I think, some very real common sense approaches to that.
We all tend to look at exactly that same point as being the reason, the excuse for us not to embrace change or embrace new strategy, new ideas into our businesses. The real wealth is created in business in times of economic doom and gloom, when you can look at it and face it as an opportunity, not an obstacle. That's when we create wealth for ourselves in business, not when the sun's shining and things are great. Because see, the sun's shining and things are great for everybody during those times. So of course, all of your competitors are doing exactly the same thing.
I thought Troy was outstanding. Troy's style is really lively on stage, and his blend of comedy and his Australian accent really makes it a pleasure to listen to him.
I'd love to hear Troy speak again.
Franchisors are always looking at ways to increase business, and he got to the core of what it takes to be a good business owner and got down to the real heart and soul of the personal experience of why people get in business in the first place, and I just think that's so valuable.
The most important thing I can offer you tonight is when you walk out of this building tomorrow afternoon and start heading off on your leadership career, just keep it real. Because that keeps bringing you back to a sense of truth, a sense of confidence, a sense of reality, a sense of understanding, and most importantly, a sense of purpose as to why you're doing this.